we're live. Maybe. No. Okay, it says we're live. Whatever that was hung my entire computer. Keyboard and all. I couldn't do anything. Can you see me? Anybody there? Alright, I am dropping frames like a crazy person. So let's see how it goes. Looks fine now. Except for this bad boy. Okay. I'm gonna wait for the viewers to come back a little bit. But in the meantime, let's see if it saved anything we did. Maybe. Nope. We're starting from scratch, guys. We are starting from scratch. Okay, well that sucks. Oh man. That is the downside to using Lightroom Online, is if anything dies, and you can't click out or back into Lightroom, it's not going to save it automatically. The desktop version would, but that is not what we're doing here. So I might speed through this one just because I'm really frustrated. So I may not do all of that dodge and burn. You know, I might. I might do it again. I may do it again. Sorry guys, this is absolutely ridiculous. I'm just redoing everything that I did before, that I remember. Maybe adjusting some things here and there. Alright, so I'm going to do the select subject again to get the mountains, and then adjust the brightness, contrast, and shadows, highlights, all that good stuff. My owned is stuck. Don't know what to do about that. Bring the whites up very slightly. Bring the blacks down very slightly. Increase that saturation. Okay, I think we're back to dodging and burning here. I think I did everything. Okay. Let's dodge. That was so much work, guys. And I was really happy with it too. Internet's messing with my mojo, and I don't like it. I do have my stream viewer or whatever so I can monitor when it goes down, so I didn't do anything that you guys did not see. I just happened to be looking straight at it when it went down. It also hung my entire computer. It might have been because I did so much dodging and burning that the computer couldn't keep up and keep the stream up. Because I also need a new computer or more GPU power. Okay, we're still running. I do think that Twitch will save the video that was just created from this upload. Streaming upload. So that's good at least. Do you guys think I should do like a VOD YouTube channel? Because I do have a YouTube channel. I haven't touched it in a long time though. I used to do a lot of speed edits, so I would be doing this while recording it and then just speed it up to where it's like a reasonable amount of time to watch an image being edited. I think they're still up. I should at least link them. Apparently you get a lot of like cross viewership between YouTube and it's starting to go again. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, apparently you get a lot of cross viewership from YouTube and Twitch because they kind of go hand in hand, right? I'm going to try to do less dodging and burning, just in case that was the issue. It shouldn't have been, but you never know. Streaming does weird things to computers. Burn this. And burn that. Remember, I burnt this entire thing. Burn it down! I do prefer burning to dodging, if I had to choose one. Because burning just increases that depth. Okay, let's go here. Remember I created like some craggy boys here. Come on. Wonder if I can just... Okay. I'm going to keep my stream paused so it's not so much of a strain on the bandwidth. Why does internet gotta be such a pain? We're kind of speeding through it here. This should be enough. Okay. Let's burn that just very, very slightly. And then I'm going to click off so it saves. Okay, that's safe at least. So we're going to start the dodging process. Just going through the grass first. There's some grass. And now for the trees. I love dodging trees. It's my favorite. That sounds so funny, but it's my favorite thing to do when editing like a landscape like this. It is to dodge the trees. If you guys like what I'm doing here, you guys can give me a follow. However, you can also shoot me a couple dollars on Fiverr and I will edit your picture on live during a stream. I will also, if you choose not to have me edit on stream, just let me know and I will not, obviously. I'm trying to make some extra cash while I'm unemployed and looking. So any help is appreciated. If you want to send me something on Fiverr, the link should be in the chat somewhere, but it's the same thing. It's fiverr.com/Caldec with an underscore. No, there's no underscore on Fiverr because they wouldn't let me. So there's no underscore on Caldec. Before you do it, if you want on this live stream, just let me know in the chat and I will go and fetch it. Getting kind of messy here, but that's okay. Editing a picture the second time around is never as good as the first. If you lose your work, anyway. Oof. Not blinking again. The problem with my internet is it's not that it's slow or anything. My modem is old, and it's not rated for the load that I've been putting on it with streaming and stuff. So occasionally it just gives up. But yeah, if you like makeup, just think of dodging and burning as highlight and contour. I'm a little bit of a makeup nerd. Let's highlight that, and I want to highlight this area. This one, basically where the lights are going to hit. And I want to go back and get into some of these trees to make them stand out against the other trees. Subtlety is always the best approach in photo edits. Let's see. Alright, so just here, there, and there. Cool. Let's increase the exposure just a hair. I'm gonna tone it down on the grass a little bit, I think. Because it's a bit unnatural looking. Let's see. A little bit more. Let's see what we got. So this is the original, and this is what it is now. I think I do want to burn just a little bit here, like on these rock faces. Just make them stand out just a little bit more. A little bit more. Oh, God. So what's everyone up to this fine day? It's a good Saturday. It's a good day to stay inside. Hey, Nightlife. This Lightroom, yes, this is the Lightroom online version. It looks totally and completely different from the desktop version. It's like they have Lightroom Mobile, Lightroom CC, Lightroom Desktop, and Lightroom Online. And then just like Lightroom. So this is Lightroom, but it's the online version, if that makes sense. Wait, you can see the tab. How you doing, Nightlife? I've been having some internet issues, so it may cut out at some point, but we'll see. But you can really see the difference in the trees from the dodge and burn, especially like over here in this one. It's nice. Okay, I'm gonna click out of this so it'll save it, and so we don't have an incident like last time. That sucked. You take the photos yourself or just like editing? I do both. So I really enjoy editing. These are actually pictures I took a long time ago in 2017, and so I'm just now getting to the edits, but they've been in my queue for a long time. I'm I'm on the struggle bus today. I love your name, by the way. Nightlife with a K. Just like you can dodge and burn trees and stuff, you can dodge and burn clouds as well. You a photographer? Yes, I am. I am a professional portrait, fashion portrait photographer, specifically for Japanese fashion. I am also a self portrait artist, and I am the owner of a fashion store that has a photo studio inside of it. So this is one of the pictures from the photo. And I edited them on past streams and stuff too. But and then some of my self portraiture like that. Oh, thank you for the follow, Nightlife. I really, really appreciate that. You have no idea. I also do some modeling for my store. I like taking pictures next to trash cans. It has that goth and punk feel, right? So landscapes, it's kind of how I started. I don't really do them very often anymore unless I go somewhere like the Garden of the Gods. And I just do photo walk. So I do a lot of nature walks and just take some photos. This was actually a film photo that I want to edit. And this was in Bandera, Texas. But yeah. This was also Garden of the Gods, I believe. I think we were in the car. But this place was too pretty not to. I also did a lot of lightning photography. That's how I truly, truly started. So I like bad weather. Do you do photography? Photography? Or just editing? Or are you just here because you're curious? Let's see, what else do I want to do? I think I want to brighten up this area a little bit. Getting into photography, did some video editing last year. Yeah, that's funny because I'm now into video editing as like a part-time gig. I got laid off in November, so this is me trying to get that bread. For a nonprofit, I got the bug, almost got a job out of it. Dang it. That's awful. I have not gotten the bug yet. Senor Panini. I'm also a homebody, so I just never leave the house. So this is original, and this is how it is right now. I think it's actually a little bit too HDR for my liking. Well, maybe not. I'm gonna take this guy and bring him down a little bit. Because it's really him that's just bothering me. Let me see. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. Sorry, I meant the photography video, but yeah, the photo and video bug is very contagious. When I first read that chat, I thought you said that you were taking photos of a bug and you almost fell out of your chair. I'm extremely exhausted today. I'm very tired. So I've been misreading things a lot. I've been doing photography for professionally 10 years now. And then as a hobbyist, probably about 15. Yeah. I got my first digital camera. No, it's been 16 years since I was a hobbyist. I started when I was 15. That's when I really started getting into it. Time sure flies, man. It's funny though, because you hear a lot about photographers. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Um, a lot of photographers get into it, and 5 years of experience is a lot of experience for a photographer. Text is hard for context. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. It's not necessarily context, it's just my brain being dumb. I had a wacky dream, so I'm kind of off today. It says first playthrough on my tags. Whoop. Let me go fix that real quick. Let's see, for tags, first playthrough. I was playing Stardew Valley last night. It sucks. And my brain just beep, flatlined. Ooh, more coffee. Let's go. So every time I finish an image, I don't think this is quite finished. There's something over here that's bothering me a lot. I think it's a contrast. Did I lower it? No, I didn't. Maybe I just got used to that contrast there. Yeah, so there's an area that I didn't burn that I wish I did. So what kind of photos did you do? Concentrate. I just got your cam up. Can't see the workspace. Ugh. Oh, that's right. Okay. Thank you. I'm still new to streaming, so there we go. Now it's up. Shank. Donkey Shank. I get a lot of sports photographers that come in here for some reason. People just browse the photography tag and they pop in. Yeah, it's nice. Perfect. I'm happy with it. So whenever I finish an image like this, I always like to duplicate the picture and then explore some. So sometimes you get so like bogged down in your own editing style, you don't think of something, and whenever you see a preset, you're like, oh, that looks really good. Let me do that. So I like to apply a couple presets here and there, just see how it looks, and maybe see light tones on this. I hate that. I hate it. People do this a lot for like photo editing and stuff. Especially landscapes. This HDR style, it bothers me on a deep level. Ooh, I've seen that one too. That's interesting though. Let's do subtle. Did a few with provided video footage. Then I did video where I shot everything in the game. Did a couple of Instagram reels and some basic stuff with my phone. That's a good way to start. Right now, I'm currently doing. I'm a YouTube video editor for like my day job. I guess you could say it's my only gig right now that'll pay the rent, so I'm working my butt off for her. But she's a good friend of mine, so it's a situation where benefit. She has a huge backlog, and I have nothing to do, so. You like this right now? The darker one. Ooh boy. The darker one. Was it this one? Sorry, the chat is on a separate computer over here because my computer just can't handle it. So I may lag behind on. I wish these presets had names. I can make the sky darker if you want to see it. This one. Looks kind of stormy. That's cool. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's make the sky darker. See how that goes. Okay, I'm working on the copy. Yes, I'm working on the copy. Cool. So I can. I don't know how much you Lightroom. This version of it, the darker blue. Okay. This one will like automatically select the sky for you. It saves a lot of time. So let's make this slightly darker, and I'm going to kind of tint it blue, like a nice sky blue, just very, very slightly, and increase the saturation. Just spitballing, that's totally fine. I mean, it's always good to have an open mind, and I mean, we're just having fun here. I want to have like a nice deep blue. Oh, yes. I'm gonna deselect. It's selecting some of the mountains here. There we go. Looks a bit unnatural to me. I think that might be the hue. Let's change this back to 0. Maybe, let me see. What is it changing? Get a little bit of the darkness back in there, but also not keep it too unnatural looking. That's a change. Whenever you start using a like a DSLR camera, make sure to, if you have the editing software, if you have Lightroom or Photoshop, experiment with shooting in RAW format. So NEF or RAW, it will allow you to edit like this, because you cannot edit a JPEG like this. Like this one, I was taken on my phone. like it already. If you try to increase it, increase or decrease the exposure on it, it doesn't work as well because it'll start clipping things out, and that's never good. Clipping looks like this and that. So a raw camera format captures the data straight from like what you're seeing. So like if you take a picture and of this, for example, if you take a picture of this, it will take the numerical ones and zeros from that picture and read it for a preview. And that's the image that you see on the back of the DSLR. So it's not the actual image. So if you take a raw photo and you import it into like Photoshop or another raw editing software, it will actually read different softwares from different companies read raw data differently. So the preview that it pops up on the screen for you to edit will most likely look different from the image on the camera, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Your wife has the same vape. I just got this thing. It's been doing this thing here. So maybe you can help because it's been doing a thing. Okay. So the little pod thing, right? It just comes out. Mine slowly comes out. And eventually it'll just like pop out. And I haven't been able to fix it. I dropped it and it fixed it for a minute, but it's starting to come back now. She says not supposed to do that. Oh, definitely not. It is not a thing that it's supposed to do. I think it has to do with maybe juice leakage down there. I don't know. Because I dropped it and it fixed it, and then as I've been using it, it's been getting progressively worse. So, I don't know. But yeah, I do most of my editing in RAW. This was on my phone. This was on my phone, so they're not. But this one's RAW. Let me see if I can... No, so this one's a JPEG as well. Because if I took this one as RAW and then decreased the exposure, you'd be able to see the clouds in the sky behind it. If there were any clouds to see. The only downside is that RAW files are huge because it's just a bunch of data. So it takes up a lot of space. It's supposed to be difficult to get out. If you have any fluid in the bottom, you should clean it out. Yeah. I don't have anything with me, but I'll definitely keep an eye on that because that might be the issue. This one looks like a fun one to edit. Let's see. Let's go a little bit darker and then let's bring out the highlights of just the rock. So select the subject. Let's see how it does. If you've never used RAW before and your camera has that capability, I would highly suggest you shoot one copy RAW and one copy JPEG, because you can choose to shoot both. That way, if you get a RAW picture and you don't know how to work with it yet, you don't lose that picture. It does fill out your camera SD card really fast, though. I wish you could do curves on a selected area. cool tip. Yeah, that's how I started with RAW, because I didn't know how to edit RAW, because you edit them differently. So if you import a JPEG into the desktop version of Lightroom, I'm not sure if this does it, because I know this is a JPEG. No, it's not doing it. So if you import it into the desktop version of Lightroom, it'll change all of this to like just brightness and contrast and whites and blacks. Because you can't change all of these things after you've taken a picture. I mean, those are in-camera adjustments. So you'll know what you're looking at based on what Lightroom says. It's a little bit too bright, I think. Yeah. How did I get... My brain is not having a good day. Okay. I'm going to take the highlights down just a hair, so it's not so... You see that area? That just... It looks bad. It looks real bad. Let's see what else we want to do. I think I want to do dodging and burning on this again. And I think I'll do some sharpening as well, but we can do that later. This is going to be a rather simple job, dodge and burn, but it'll make everything look better, I think. I can't remember exactly how these rocks were formed, but I did hear it from the tour guide. I think it was tectonic mountain movement. Basically, these are miniature mountains. Okay. And we can bring up the exposure just a little bit on those areas, and then we can get to burning. So what photography are you interested in getting into? Because they're all kind of, I mean, they're all very different. I've kind of done it all at this point, so. Landscape. We chillin', got coffee, got enough pressure Monday to Friday. Yeah, same. What did you call it? Something burn. Yes, that is exactly what I called it. Think like wood burning. Basically, burn means to make it darker, and dodge means make it lighter, like this. I'm technically here, I'm not dodging and burning technically because they work different on the picture. Dodging and burning is the name for the Photoshop tools specifically. I can show you. I'm gonna edit. That's a bit too much on the dodge and burn here, I think. So let's pick another picture here. We can do this one. So if I edit in Photoshop, Yeah, I know. Landscape portrait, wildlife, basically anything. Wildlife is hard. Wildlife photography is very difficult. Alright, so the dodge and burn tools, this is dodge. You can see what it's doing to that little puppo. So this is a true dodge. You can kind of go over. Basically, it chooses whatever range you select here and lightens them. So I can dodge some of these clouds, and you can see it really easy here. It's a really good way to create depth and texture back here. And then burn is the opposite, so it's this little hand. You just moved into a place where it'd be a fun thing to get into. Yes. I mean, do it. So this is burning the shadows slightly. And the more times you go over it, the darker it's gonna get. Like if I choose right here. You can burn until it's burnt to a crisp. Let's see, where was it? There we go. It's best with dodge and burn to be more subtle, because unlike Lightroom, you can't adjust it later. So if I wanted to, now that I've done the burn here, if I hated it and I wanted to undo it, and it's too far back for the history to go to, you would have to completely start over. And that's destructive editing. So Lightroom does destructive editing, or Photoshop does destructive editing, Lightroom does indestructive editing, which means you can select each individual edit that you make on here and just hit the delete key and it's gone, no matter how far back in history it is. So editing in Lightroom is a lot safer than Photoshop in terms of losing progress and stuff. But you can see, if I go up to history and take this, I'm like pointing at my screen like you can see it. If you can take this area down here somewhere, look at it when I go undo everything, basically. So it makes a huge difference, even though you might not necessarily, oh my god, even if you might not necessarily be able to see the dodging and burning until you're done, like, because the human eye can only detect changes of a certain amount, right? You can definitely see a difference whenever you flip back and forth. So that's dodging and burning in a nutshell. It's one of my favorites. In Lightroom, I'm essentially doing the same thing, but I can choose this burn, and if I want it to go darker later, I can make it darker, or I can make it lighter. If you eventually, like, you start editing your own photos, whatever, there is no wrong way to edit. People will tell you that there's a bunch of wrong ways to do things. Like if you go to Photoshop tutorials and whatnot, they'll be like, this is the only way to do it. They're wrong. You can do, if the method works for you, it's a good method. Okay, so I am liking this image. see. I like it as shot, actually, the white balance. So we can move on. Which one? Let's do something not with these good rocks here. Let's do something. Let's edit this film one. This is a digital scan of a film photo that I took a long time ago near my old house. So I won't be able to edit it. I mean, it's a JPEG. It edits like a JPEG. So I won't be able to bring this clipping down at all. So anything that we do, I'm gonna have to be a little subtle about it. Do you think there's a line between editing a photo and just straight up changing it to fit what someone wished they shot, and it's basically art instead of a photo? That is a good question. So that's what I did with this one. So if I were to edit this, this is where I draw the line. If I were to edit this, it would look... No. If I were to just edit this, it would have different colors, maybe. It would have, whatever. Changing it to art. Like, I took this picture, and there's this was taken at a store near me. So I took this picture. I hated this. I hated all these little wires and everything, and I wanted to take them out and make it look like it was shot in a studio. So me wanting to turn this into what I would consider art versus editing, went ahead and took out all of those things, smoothed out the walls, took out some shadows and reflections, took out all of the acrylic backing of the neon lights. Forgot the word neon. And there it is. That is my artwork versus what was shot. Another example is something this one. So she was wearing pink. This is at my store at the studio. And she was wearing pink, but these balls were blue. And I wanted the balls to match, so I changed the color. This is the original. So you can see just how much I changed. The brightness is what I would call just straight up editing. And then the color of the balls would make it into photo manipulation. I use that term loosely. An example of just editing would be this one. This is another picture I took from my store. I didn't change anything, I just edited it. So this was the original. And then I brought it warmer and I made it a little brighter just so it stood out more, so it's ready to be printed on a card or whatever I want to do with it for the store, right? This one is a photo manipulation as well. If you look at photo manipulations on Google or something, you'll see what I'm talking about. So a lot of the times when people say photo manipulation, they may take a stock photo and legitimately turn it into a work of art, like this one. This is a really cool example, actually. Or this one, they took the stock photo of the light bulb, photoshopped it onto the background I see here, put the ocean and mountains into the light bulb, and made it into a work of art. So this is when normal people say photo manipulation, this is what they mean. I have an online store, yes. So I own a Japanese fashion store. Basically, we take hard to find fashions from Japan, relatively small brands in Japan. It's very niche fashion, But we do that, and then a lot of these brands don't sell in the United States or outside of Japan. So we take these lovely works of art, these dresses and whatever else, and we make them available to the US market. So we work directly with the designers and the brands that we work with to make this possible. So it's not like a scammy thing at all or anything. But like this brand is from Russia. Trade between Russia and the US is kind of bonkers right now. um, this one's from Japan. She's one of our best friends. The designer is. And all of these prints that you see on these dresses are hand drawn. So they're literally works of art, which is why they're so expensive. Let's see. This one's nice. So this is from the same designer. Let's see if I can find a bigger picture. This cat right here is actually her cat, which she drew onto her dress. So it's really special. It's really special for her. We also carry like indie brands and like Demonia shoes. We carry those as well. Basically, the alternative style. Indie brands, a lot of them are handmade from all around the world. So these are handmade by her. She's the designer. And they are designed, drawn, and or sewn. We have some indie brands that don't have a manufacturer. They just make their own stuff, which is really cool. Like Nicosario, she hand makes gothic jewelry. So we have a lot of things that are sold out. Wow. So like this ring, it's really small. You can't really see it that well, but it is handmade by her in her house, and her day job. I believe she works at like Starbucks or something. So it's really cool to support these really unique pieces that have been handcrafted by people from all over the world, right? So that's basically what the store is about. The pictures that I take for the store are basically ads. So like we had this dress a long time ago. You can see all the detail in it, and this was one of my favorite dresses that we had. And so we were really trying to push this dress as a promotion, like, hey, we have this brand, because it's one of the biggest brands that we carry. It's super popular in Japan and overseas, but it's difficult to get um, in the States because you have to pay someone to order it for you and then pay double shipping, and it's a nightmare. So you have all of these kinds of things. It's very unique, very unique. I'm actually in this picture. I'm wearing one of the brands that I carry as well. So we don't just carry the dresses. We also carry like this brand as well. This is a brand called Sexpot Revenge. This this necklace and then this hoodie fluffy jacket thing that I'm wearing is from a brand called Hellcat Punks. So just a little taste. We could also actually take this picture and use it. So a lot of no problem, no problem. A lot of the community, it's a very niche, very small, tight knit community, and part of the culture in this community is collecting prints. I don't have any on my desk right now that I can show you, but a lot of brands produce postcards that they ship whenever you make a purchase or for a special event or something, and it's basically a really nice photo of one of their brand pieces, like this one, for example. And so we, as a store, not as a brand, have Like, we make our own postcards because people like to collect them. People like to trade them, and they're kind of like trading cards and collectibles for the community. So this, I want to be eventually one of our um, store postcards that we give out. This one's gonna be tricky, I think. This is why I haven't touched it yet. I'll get some. See what everyone thinks I should do. Yeah. Oh, look at those pixels. God. A black and white might be cool, actually. It's a very dreamy picture. Because of the bokeh in the foreground? Were you talking about the pixels that I was thinking about? Looking at the here. If you were talking about me saying that it was going to be a difficult image to edit, I was referring to I don't know anything but that. I was referring to the fact that it's a scan, like a low resolution scan of a print that came from a film camera. So it's a JPEG, and I can't really do much about it. Yeah, that's what I meant. Because even with this black and white preset, you get this graininess and this loss right here. So I'm going to try to avoid that. But also not blow it out like this necessarily. See, this one's particularly bad. I kind of like this one. I like the darkness amongst the dandelions here. But I don't want a vignette that strong. That's a good base to work with, I think. Because now I can take that and darken the shadows. Basically what I'm doing is I'm editing this part of the image to what I want it to be, and then I'll do select sky later and edit this part. If it detects that it's a sky, it may not. Okay. So let's do sky edit now. Let's see how well it does this. Not terrible. Worried though that it didn't get this of the plant sticking up here, but we'll see. Deepen some of the shadows, maybe. That works actually pretty well. If we lighten the shadows, it doesn't look too unnatural. If you hear power tools, that's my neighbor. He's been building something for like 3 weeks. I have no idea what it is. This is a new slider that I'm kind of unfamiliar with, the texture one. That's new to this version of Lightroom. I don't have it on my actual photo editing machine. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the entire image here and do some sharpening. Remove just some of the vignette around the edges. What area of the States are you from? I'm from Texas. It's over sharpened a little bit. Yeah, I'm from Texas, where it is hot year round. Wonder what color grading would do here. This might be a good candidate for color grading, just because there is such a big contrast between the shadows and the highlights. Let's do some color grading. Why not? Alright, let's... Alright. Nightlife, pick my first highlight color. Any color in the world. I'll turn the highlight to that color. And then I will work from whatever highlight color you choose. So that's all to 0. Perfect. Decisions. Deep blue. Okay. So that is the deepest deep blue can get. And I think that's the darkest deep blue that I feel comfortable going for highlights. That was midtones. That was not highlights. There we go. Okay. Let's do kind of roughly about the same thing, actually. And let's see what looks good in shadows with blue. Greens, yellows, purples. We can do purple. Let's do purple. Yeah. And then let's do a midtones of just like a green. Green for sounds cool. Like squinting. My eyes are so tired. Orange? Orange. Let's do orange for the shadows. So we got green, blue, and orange. Something's a little off. I think it's the green. Color grading is not easy. Let's see. I'm still trying to learn how to do it properly to where it looks good. That's kind of cool. If you blow out the highlights a little bit. We can press green. Right. So this is the true black and white. It looks sepia now because we've been looking at green and blue. Just throwing stuff out there, do what you want. Hey, no, this is you. This is all you. I think that looks cool. So this is what we got, and then this is the original. I think it looks cool. Whew. It's one of the best edits I think we can do with this one, honestly. This one. Alas, we are out of time. It does have a rustic feel to it. It's very, it fits the place that it was taken. It's very much, it has the vibe of that city, town, village, whatever you want to call it. I grew up in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. So this is, let's just say that this is a cow pasture. Alrighty. Yeah, we are out of time. So, sorry, but I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna go eat something. I grew up in the sticks. That was literal sticks. It was dandelion sticks. Thanks for chatting. You know, thank you for dropping by. This has been really fun. I don't get many. I'm starting to get more interaction now, but I don't typically get a lot of nice conversation. But this was fun. So thanks for dropping by, and thanks for the follow. Yeah, I'm very hungry. I think that might be why my brain's not working very well. Ugh. That was my stomach if you heard it. I'll see you on. I'm free. If you're free, you'll stop by again. Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. Ugh. Alrighty. Thank you everyone for watching. If you're watching this later, hello and goodbye. If you're watching this now, it's amazing. As a reminder, I am doing work on Fiverr. So I do photo edits and I do pretty much everything. I can even lengthen the audio if you need it for your YouTube video without like looping or doing anything weird. So do take a look on Fiverr. The link is fiverr.com/Caldec without a underscore because it wouldn't let me do that. So if you want to shoot me some dollars, I'll edit your picture on stream. I stream every day, except, okay, I stream on Wednesday through Saturday from noon to 2. I'm late a lot of the time, but on Fridays I stream from 5 to 9-ish, depending on when my internet kicks me out, because it's not the best internet, but I do the game of the week. So if you have a specific game that you want to see me play, I have a game of the week suggestion box on like my Twitch profile. So just submit a game there and I'll see if I have it and if my computer can run it. And we will do that. Right now, I've been playing Stardew Valley for a while because it is my first playthrough. And I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I was really curious. So I've been doing that on Fridays. But yeah, if you liked it, follow. If you've already followed, perfect. And I will see you on